In this lesson, we'll be learning how to work with the sponge tool in Photoshop CS6. The sponge tool can be used to either improve or detract from saturation within an image, or rather to add to or take away from the saturation. Whether or not it's improvement is a subjective concept, really. So what we're going to do is search for a high saturation photograph. Firstly, this image demonstrates the difference. High saturation means that every pixel is imbued with a lot of color. This will be medium saturation, and this will be low saturation. There's some color, but it's mostly just value, you see. So high saturation photography. Okay, let's work with this image. Saturation in this image is overblown. It looks almost cartoonish and stylized, not real. Now that might be the desired effect, but we're going to assume that that isn't, and take it upon ourselves to improve the saturation in the image using the sponge. Now we have our sponge selected. Up here on the options bar, you can see the usual options for size and hardness and a number of presets for the brush head that you want to use. We have modes. Now the two principal modes are desaturate and saturate. So we're going to work with desaturate first. There isn't much that needs to be saturated here, but we'll create a situation where we can learn the alternate option, which is saturate. Make sure desaturate is selected for now. Flow, which you've seen before in brushes, we'll turn that reasonably low. Okay, and then I'm going to just enhance or increase the size of my brush head using the brackets beside the P key there, the two square brackets. And then I might just increase that a little bit more, around the 60 area. And airbrush effect is turned on, so there should be an airbrush build-up effect. And you can see that I'm going to step back, Control Z one time, and duplicate this quickly, just so we can easily have a before and after. So I'm going to leave the bottom one alone. We're going to edit the top one. Okay. Now let's desaturate some of this. You will likely do this with multiple strokes. Okay. So, before and after. Before and after. Quite a difference. Which one of those looks more believable to you? That or that? I'll leave that up to your own discretion. Now the saturate alternative mode can be used to then increase saturation. So if you feel we've overdone it in certain spots, then you can turn down the flow and just add a little saturation back into those areas. We don't want to take all the color out of the image, do we? So this kind of high saturation, overblown look in photography comes in and out of vogue, but you always want to know how to either add to or decrease from, detract away from the saturation in your pixel data, and that's really what the sponge tool is for.